Good morning, students. This is chapter number 11, Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. And today's topic is experimental study of photoelectric effect. Now, in this experimental setup, there is a evacuated glass tube having a window which is covered with the quartz glass. There are two electrodes, cathode and anode. Both are made of metal. These electrodes are connected with a battery and the current controller that is called rheostat. An ammeter is also connected in series to measure the current in the circuit, and a voltmeter parallel to the electrodes to measure the potential difference between electrodes, means cathode and anode. When the key is closed and light incident at the electrode, it starts emitting the electrons, but the frequency of light should be greater than the threshold frequency. This is the condition for photoelectric effect, right? Now we are drawing some conclusion and some observations of this experiment. Before going to this, we should know that glass can transmit only the visible and infrared light, but not ultraviolet light. Second thing, quartz transmit the UV light. So in this experiment, we are using ultraviolet light, right? As per the photoelectric effect, the metallic surface always emits the electrons when the light of sufficient frequency falls on the metallic surface. Now, as per the particle theory of light, the intensity of light and energy of the light are separate quantities. They are not related to each other. As per the particle theory, intensity means number of photons per unit area per unit time, and energy of the photon is h nu. Means higher the frequency, higher will be the energy of the photon, right? Now we are studying the effect of intensity of light on photoelectric current in the circuit. If we increase the intensity of light in this experiment, how the current in the circuit will affect it? Means there is a relation between intensity of light and current in the circuit. So this is the linear relation between intensity of incident light and photoelectric current. When we increase the intensity, means we are increasing the number of photons, and if number of photons increases, the number of emitted electron also increases, and ultimately the photoelectric current will be increased. So there is a linear relation between current and intensity of light. The graph should be linear. For a fixed frequency, the photoelectric current increases linearly with increase in intensity of incident light. Now, how the photoelectric current affected on increasing the potential difference between cathode and anode? So there is a relation. We can observe this relation by the graph, and this graph suggests that when we increase the potential difference, there is no change in the saturated current. The current becomes constant after a fixed value of potential difference between cathode and anode. Reason is that If intensity is constant, it means number of photons are constant. And number of photons are constant, it means electric current will be constant. But if we increase the intensity, current also increases. Although it may also becomes constant after a certain value of potential difference, right? So for positive potential, for a fixed frequency and intensity of incident light, the photoelectric current increases with increasing the potential, positive potential applied to the anode. When all photoelectrons reached as the anode, the current becomes maximum and it gets saturated. Means there is a saturation current in the circuit after reaching the electron at the anode, right? But what happens when we apply the negative potential? Negative potential means the polarity of the electrodes get changes. So the direction of battery will be reversed. Then what will happen? The retarding potential will retard the motion of the electrons, and ultimately at a particular value of potential difference, the electron's motion gets ceased. Means there is no current in the circuit. If there is no current in the circuit, the potential difference between electrode and cathode and anode is called stopping potential. That stopping potential may be known as cut off potential. Cut off potential means there is no current. So there is no supply of current in the circuit. The intensity of incident light does not affect the stopping potential. Now see in this graph, there are two intensities L1 and L2, but for both the radiation, the stopping potential is same. It means stopping potential is not depends on the intensity of light, right? It is the characteristic of the metal. Now the third, how the photoelectric current affected by the frequency. Photoelectric current in relation to the frequency of incident light. See, as per the photon theory, energy depends on frequency, whereas intensity depends on number of photons, and number of photons also affect the photoelectric current linearly. It means there should be no relation between frequency of incident light and photoelectric current, right? Now for fixed intensity of incident light, the photoelectric current does not depends on frequency of the incident light, right? It means photoelectric current is independent of frequency, right? Because the photoelectric current simply depends on the number of photoelectrons emitted, and in terms of number of photons incident, and not on the energy of photon. So photoelectric current only depends on intensity but independent of frequency, right? Next, how the stopping potential get affected by the frequency. If we are changing the frequency of incident light, how the stopping potential changes? Definitely the stopping potential will change if the frequency of light gets changed. Now we can draw a graph between photoelectric current and the potential difference. And stopping potential difference is always in the negative side because it stops the current by the negative potential, that is called retarding potential, right? For the first frequency, and this frequency is nu 1, the stopping potential is at this point, means very near to the point O, or very near to the origin. If we increase the frequency by keeping the intensity constant, the stopping potential increases. For both the radiation intensity is same, so current is also same. As you know that photoelectric current is depending on intensity, but intensity is constant, so current is constant. but the stopping potential is different for the different frequencies. The reason is that when we increase the frequency, energy of the photon increases, but the work function of the metal always remains constant. It means that the kinetic energy of emitted electron will increase if we increase the frequency. And to stop the electron with the higher kinetic energy, we have to apply the higher retarding potential difference between cathode and anode. So for fixed intensity of incident light, the photoelectric current increases and is saturated with increase in positive potential applied to the anode, right? However, the saturation current is same for different frequencies of incident light, correct? When potential is decreased and taken below zero, photoelectric current decreases to zero, but at different stopping potential different for the different frequencies, right? Higher the frequency, higher will be the stopping potential. The reason the energy of photon increases means the kinetic energy also increases. To stop that electron with higher kinetic energy, we have to apply the higher retarding potential, right? Next, the threshold frequency. Every metal emits electron after getting the photon of a frequency greater than a critical frequency. That critical frequency is known as threshold frequency. Now you can observe this situation in the graph. There is a stopping potential on y-axis, frequency of photon on x-axis. If we incident a light energy of lower frequency region, there is no emission of electron. If there is no emission of electron, so no need of retarding potential. But if we incident a photon greater than the frequency greater than the critical frequency, we have to apply the retarding potential. So that minimum frequency or that critical frequency above which the metal can emit or eject the electron, that is called threshold frequency. And energy associated with threshold frequency is called work function. Means the work function is the minimum amount of energy required to emit the electron from the metallic surface. The graph between stopping potential and frequency does not pass through the origin, because near the origin the frequency is very small. It shows that there is a minimum value of frequency called threshold frequency, below which photoelectric emission is not possible. However, the frequency of the high the intensity of incident light may be. It depends on the nature of the metal of emitting photoelectrons. These electrons are known as photoelectrons because they emitted from the metallic surface after getting the light energy. That's why these electrons are known as photoelectrons. So this is all about for today's lecture. Thank you very much.